So we look at examples of these fatal flaws in scriptures as sometimes they're confusing to us. Like, for instance, the question of Moses. Why did God respond in such a significant way to that area? It doesn't seem like a big mistake to just strike a rock instead of speaking to it. In fact, what he did worked. The water came out of the rock. It did meet the people's needs. And so what was the big issue there? It's interesting that God said, you didn't honor me as holy. You didn't honor me as holy. And when you look at exactly what Moses said, he said, why do I always have to basically take care of you and meet your needs? And it's obvious that at that point, you see a different attitude from him in that instance than in any other of the crises he faced. In that moment, Moses focused on his own irritation and on the cost that he was going to pay. I actually call that leadership anger, or leadership. Leadership anger, I think, is the best word for it. It's when leaders begin to lead from their leadership is energized by an anger that's a selfish anger. It's not an anger for the righteousness of God or an anger for the protection of His people. It's an anger for how much trouble the people around us are causing us, or why they're so slow to learn because it means that we have more work, or how disrespectful they've been to us. And it seems that this is the kind of thing that Moses is experiencing there. He's experiencing selfish anger, and basically his whole conversation circles around himself and the irritation that his followers are being to him. And God said, "You didn't honor me as holy." Now, one of the things we could say is wow, that was such an exception. But if you go forward into Deuteronomy chapter 1, when Moses is reflecting back on this experience, he says, tells the people, when God was angry with me because of you. And even a number of years later, Moses didn't take responsibility for his issue. He basically said, no, the fault was with the people, the fault wasn't with me. And he defended his leadership anger, he defended his reaction against the people, and continued to see as righteous. And I think leaders sometimes don't, we underestimate the debris that's caused from selfish leadership anger. And there are actually many leaders who have been disqualified because of their inability to control their selfish anger. They respond in anger when people put them out. They respond in anger when people don't agree with them. They respond in anger when they don't get their way. They respond in anger when they're disrespected. And not only does this work like a poison on their team and discredit their leadership to people, but it can also often cause them even to be removed from leadership. We have examples of people like the founder of World Vision that actually was removed from leadership. One of the big issues was his uncontrollable anger. Leadership anger can be something that actually disqualifies us from leadership. Leadership anger that's selfish anger, that's not righteous anger.